like, wow, Trump may win this. And I went to sleep like unaffected. I went to sleep, but woke up and they said he had won. I was like, it sucks for us, but all right, next.
But then again, it also depends on how you look at it. Does it suck for us, or will we get our shit together?
Well, no, on the surface, it sucks for us because, you know, oh my gosh, Trump is going to do this. He's taking Obamacare. He's taking my Obama phone and all this other stuff. But like you say, Trump is going to make the hood great again.
Yes.
Because eventually we're not going to have anybody but ourselves.
Or anything. They're not going to give us nothing.
Right. It's going to be like, all right, brothers and sisters, here we are. We've been forced together. Let's unify, which I don't really think they want us to do that either. But
no, but you know, they're taking everything away from us where we're going to do or we're not going to do.
Right. Well, I'm going to do. I'm doing. Okay. And then Benny says we have to raise and run our own candidates. Yes. That is the problem, though, and that almost goes into my next topic.
Yeah, I agree with you, Benny, but the problem is when we have those candidates, what's everybody clamoring in California about? Oh, she's going to be the next great thing, Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris,
oh, my, this woman came out of
Barack Obama.
Right, this woman came out of nowhere. And she's a junior senator, and they've already chosen her. She's already been chosen
to run
or down the road where they're already grooming her. We didn't groom her. We didn't vote for her.
And I don't know anything about her other than she's the same. Well, she used to be the
Secretary of State of California.
Yeah, but she's singing the
Attorney
same
General,
old. Same old.
And she's running the Democratic thing, and you know, like I said, you know, here she is, and she was this, you know, women. Oh, she's a woman, and you got to get women in there, and she's not doing jack shit.
Right. Well, she looks good.
It depends.
And Al says a lot of Hispanics want to be white. A lot of black people want to be white too. Benny says, like I said, we can't align ourselves with any other group. That's where we keep screwing up. We are alone black people. Embrace it, though. I agree with you. And that's where Secret Guard, I don't see his meddling cell phone here this week. That's where he was going last week when he kept on saying we keep calling ourselves a minority. Now, I know where he's going. I just didn't want to get into it. We were speaking more in numbers, but to Benny's point, yes, we keep trying to align ourselves with everybody. When we call ourselves minority, then we get mistaken for or with the same issues of the LGBT community.
They hijack our struggle and make it theirs,
and they call us minorities.
And then once they get what they need, just like the Jews did, they leave.
Bye, nigga. Yep, I mean, you know, that's pretty. I don't know if that's what they say, but that's just
that's pretty much what happened.
Right. And so our sign says, thank you. That's what I've been thinking from the start. If things got bad for blacks, they will have no choice but to come together. Whereas the rest of the time, we try to be successful, he said, quote unquote, by staying away from each other, at least economically speaking. Yes, we think that as soon as I get $1 more than you, I'm moving and I'm going to get a gated community. I don't want to be next to you Negroes ever. I mean, you know, that's the attitude we have.
I can't tell you over the years how many people are telling me, Donovan, sell your house. You can get a bigger house. You can do this, that. All those people that said that to me
are in debt.
They're in debt, or their houses are upside down, or they've given up.
Don't listen to them.
Right. My house is paid for.
Right.
It ain't much, but it's mine.
Oh, it's more than just much. Yeah. And so Benny says, yes, that's what they say. All right, so check it out. That brings me to my next topic. All right, so Fatima Lewis wants to talk about...
I love that name.
I like that name. It's very powerful, Fatima.
Yeah.
Wants to talk about the Keisha Lance Bottom victory. For those of you guys who don't know, I've only seen her name trending. I've seen her name trending, and she won the mayoralship in Atlanta.
After the recount vote, there was a
recount vote. Well, it was a runoff election.
Yeah.
It was a runoff election in the beginning because I guess neither one of her
got the majority.
Got the majority, so they had to have a runoff election, and she won the vote by but it's still a lot. 700 votes. So only 700 votes made her the winner. Her opponent wanted to have a recount. Like, oh my gosh, you know, I need all these other votes to come in from the military and all these other people. But anyway, Keisha Lance Bottoms, she ended up winning, and so she is now the newly appointed mayor, or voted mayor, rather.
Elected mayor.
Elected mayor of Atlanta. All right, so...
And she's black.
She's a black woman. Okay. So and I did my research on Miss Bottoms, Lance Bottoms. Her husband's last name is Bottoms, and I guess...
Oh, she's married?
Yeah.
Black woman?
Black... Shut up.
Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, Secret Guard, you're there.
Yeah, there is.
I did that. You say, yo, D, I knew there was a reason I love you. There you are. I just mentioned you.
His ears must have been burning.
Yeah, okay. And Al says, we are too busy praying, drinking, cheating, not voting, and keeping it 100, which is why the government doesn't really care about us. Yeah, I mean, the government is like, yeah, to your point, if you guys are doing those things, we'll tell you what you need to hear to get what we need. And then after that, we're just going to keep treating you like you're treating each other pretty much. Not right, but it is what it is. All right, so the people, they are saying, in part because Keisha unabashedly spoke out against bigotry, sexism, and discrimination, she stood tall and never flinched under the fire. Keisha fought for her city and all of its people with love, determination, a spirit of equity, and an offer of, why are you looking like that? And an offer of justice. This is what they said. This is not my quote. This is their quote. And an offer of justice. This is the kind of leadership Democrats believe in. And so that's partially why she won. That's what they said.
There's also another lady that took the mayorship in New Orleans against another black lady, and she won in New Orleans, kind of saying the same basic thing.
I'm just telling you what the people said. This is why they felt like she was the beacon of hope, okay? And so I did some research on Miss Bottoms because I never even heard of the lady until I saw her name.
Didn't she used to dance at Club Nasty Kitty? I'm just wondering.
She didn't dance at I don't think she danced at Nasty Kitty. But anyway, and I'm going to get to you guys' comments. She, her daddy is Major Lance. Some R&B
Her daddy
artist.
was in her life? I'm just... It's incredulous.
Her daddy was Major Lance. He's some R&B artist that sung a song that said, I'm telling you what I read.
He's in the Army?
You know, I don't know if he was in the Army.
Oh, you mean his moniker was Major Lance?
Major Lance.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha,
he had an R&B song and stuff and all that other stuff.
Okay.
And, you know, so he had some pitfalls. He got caught for selling cocaine and went to jail for a little while and all that other stuff. And
right on.
All that other stuff. And so anyway, I was doing my research on her and she passed a bill, or I don't know if it was a law or bill or ordinance or whatever it was. They didn't really say that if panhandlers got caught, they need to go to jail. And I thought, really?
Christian.
You sending panhandlers to jail? And so she came under a lot of scrutiny for that, but her justification was, well, when they go before the judge will have the ability to give them some help. Give them some help and put them in a program or something. I'm saying, like, okay, hold on. I don't know why people panhandle. Some of them are coming up. Some of them legitimately to panhandle. But you feel like it's easier to send these people to jail, get them a record, and then go see the judge. And why can't you as a council, because she used to be a council member, why can't you as a council member say, well, you know what, let's enact something where we can help these people. It's since they're panhandling, and maybe let's see why. If there's some assistance or something we can give them, let's not give these people a record and make life harder for them. So that was one of the things she did. She defended it and all this other stuff. She also came under scrutiny because she worked for some, let me get it right, it's kind of long. She was an executive director of Atlanta Fulton County Recreational Authority. And she facilitated the sale of a $30 million Turner Field. So I guess it was a stadium. Mm-hmm. Now, the people that benefited from that were the state of Georgia State University and a private development group called Carter. And so people are like, wait a second, you're on this committee and you're city council person. Yeah, it's a conflict of interest because you're, dealing this big time real estate and you're not really helping the people. You're selling it to developers who are probably going to put some stuff up that's not conducive to the people in the city. And so, she defended that as well by saying, she actually recused herself on a lot of votes when she was on the city council that were in regards to the sale of real estate and other things that weren't really helpful to the people. So I don't know. I just kind of question it. Well, so who is it a victory for? I'm not saying she didn't do any good things. I'm sure she did. But who ultimately is it a victory for that this lady was elected? Now, I will say this.
Well, it could also, who are her donors?
True, and I'm sure it was for a lot of this big money here. I will say this. Her opponent wasn't any better. She was a white woman who was endorsed by all of the police associations and all this other stuff in Atlanta. She was pro-LGBTQ. Mm-hmm.
She looks
like
she's...
Did I get all the alphabets in there?
I think you did.
Okay, she's pro that community. Not that there's nothing wrong with it, but that's who she was for. In addition, she said that the black voters are felons and on welfare. So... so
she's a truth sayer.
You know
no,
what?
I'm just
There's something wrong. As that candy, I got your ass. You got a little bit too much going on.
Yeah, I got too much sugar.
And then Al says, did I hear you say the names Fatima and Lakeisha? Are they white women? You know what, y'all? Wow.
Oh, man.
And then Jonelle says, the rich get in their lack of abilities to leech secure from the masses via their failing system of leeching. The more they intensify the evils to the masses, the governmental debt is great. Let's say Seymour. It's greater than the wealthy, wicked, systematical Zionist-owned government appetite, and they can no longer even afford their own corruption. More or less a begging nation of blacks, among other various issues that plague the Zionist-owned white nation. But, you know, that's what a lot of people don't understand, too. Me and Donovan talk about this a lot. At the bigger picture of this is really us versus them. It's the haves and the have-nots. The Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, they talked about that and saying, after a while, it is going to be the rich and the poor. There's not going to be a middle class. It's just going to be the rich and the poor. And we are seeing that as we speak. And so, while, we expect the rich to do what the rich are going to do. They're going to continue the money grab as best the way they can, but eventually the poor are going to have to wake up. In fact, eventually the poor are going to have a choice, because when you're hungry, you're not going to want to be diplomatic about things. You're not going to want to say, well, honey, it's been 10 days since me or you and the kids ate, and so we need to figure out a way to do this. You're going to go knocking on some doors, and when they don't answer, Tupac talked about this, actually. He said eventually the knock becomes a bang, and then the bang becomes open up, and then after that, I'm busting in there and I'm going to get mine.
Okay, that's one way to look at it. How about looking at it this way, in a more practical way?
Okay.
Honey, I know you don't want to do this, but we got to eat.
Oh, no.
So get on out there. On out there.
You're going to be too tired to trick if you ain't ate in 10 days, okay? You ain't turning no tricks on no empty stomach, okay?
You know what I mean?
And Al says, when black women get into politics, do they coon?
Yes.
Absolutely. Listen, cooning is not gender specific.
Yeah.
Anybody can be a coon. I mean, hell, Omarosa is probably one of the biggest, latest names as far as black females that we can think of to coon. I mean, she was like, I'm going to do whatever. Corrine Brown, your girl, yes. Corrine Brown. She's getting ready to do a 5-year stint.
5-year stint.
And you happy, ain't you?
I'm very happy.
I'm sad that they gave that black lady all the years.
Well, you know, the thing is, I'm sad for the simple fact that she was so arrogant and stupid. For years, they've been trying to get her, and she couldn't keep her damn mouth shut.
And she couldn't stop spending the money on Beyonce tickets.
Exactly, and Redskin games. Ignorant.
I don't know.
It's just ignorant. I mean, they you know, it's
she did it to herself.
She did it to herself, basically.
I hope they overturn.
You know, and I'm not saying she didn't do some good things in the community, but guess what? Everybody's going to remember
her being at the Beyonce concert.
The conviction. Maybe
Trump will free her.
Yeah, sure he will.
Maybe Trump will say, "Not my girl, Corrine Brown."
Sure he will.
Maybe, you know, they kind of have the same hair color. Maybe.
No, they don't, because we know Corrine's bald headed.
So was Trump. Al says the have and the have-nots return Tuesday, January 9th.
Yes.
Benny, one day there won't be anything else left for the poor to eat but the rich. And that's what me and Donna was talking about, too. It's
inevitable.
True.
It's inevitable.
It is true.
Look at what happened in Russia.
Yeah, and you would think the rich would think that, like, okay, after a while, these people gonna turn up.
Yeah.
After a while, you know, this little food bank food and stuff they getting is not gonna suffice. After a while, they gonna come looking for what's theirs, what we done stole from them. I mean, how much money do you need?
Right, and if you think about it, they're trying to shut down the internet so that this information, what we're doing right now.
You think that's what Trump is trying to do?
They've been trying to do that for years.
Yeah, but I mean, he's like very vocal about it.
Yeah, he's vocal about it, but I'm talking about they've been trying to do this for years, Republican and Democrat, because they serve their donors. They don't serve us.
Right.
Because this information, the DK show, or things like that, they're trying to get rid of that because they don't want this information to be shared.
You don't think I'm going to come up missing, do you?
No, I think Al will take care of that.
Okay. Oh, and then so John Elson says, exactly what is it now? And the poor, exactly it is now. Okay, I think he said exactly what it is now. And the poor is too sleepy, dying while looking to the greedy rich like beggars. Yes, We need somebody to help us. Please save us, rescue us. But we keep on, fueling the beast, the
Nobody's
machine. Nobody's coming. We're expecting the people who could drive up in a Bentley to their big house on the hill with a pantry of everything you could think of to eat after they just got through robbing the poor. How? Do you really expect them? I mean, if you cared about poor people, you wouldn't be doing that in the first place, but they don't care.
Why do you think these big donors donate to these politicians that are willing to sell their souls so they can get to the tax trough and steal?
Right.
Legally.
Right.
Take it legally.
Maybe that's what we need to be doing. I'm just kidding.
We're trying to get there.
And then so you also say, Jonelle, it's their rich arrogance that leads to their self-destruction. Yeah. Absolutely. Again, the Communist Manifesto talks about that. It's like, I mean, this thing can only get but so big. Like, how much money do you really need, And also, so if black people change once they enter politics and don't do any good, what's the freaking point of getting into office? Politics is always about power, prestige, and money. It's usually one of those three things. You have the power to do and say and control and affect. You have prestige because there is, Donovan Sadiq, the Duke of Edgemont.
Right. Well, ask yourself this, John Lewis. He's a congressman for what? What has he done?
I don't know.
He keeps talking about what a civil rights icon he is.
Oh, back in Alabama when they was marching? Yeah.
But, okay, you represent in Georgia. What have you done in Georgia? Nothing. They're just there for the money. He doesn't do anything.
I agree with you, brother. I agree.
But I'm John Lewis. Back when I was... Black leadership. What a joke.
All right, so I'm going to move on. Now, listen. This next topic I'm going to talk about, I do not profess to be an expert at all. Maybe you guys can help me. It's about Bitcoin. I knew eventually that this would come up. I did a little research a couple weeks ago, and it made me question some things. So as you guys have probably been seeing, this latest craze, Bitcoin. Everybody's talking about Bitcoin. Follow me to go do some Bitcoin stuff. You should invest in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at 16,000. It's not dollars because it's not really money. It's over 16,000. Oh, Bitcoin is the latest craze. You need to get into the Bitcoin, this, that, and the other. So, I did some research. So, I'm just going to give y'all the basis and maybe y'all can help me, okay? So, what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency and worldwide payment system. It is the first decentralized digital currency as the system works without a central bank or a single administrator. The network is peer-to-peer, and the transactions take place between users directly through the use of cryptography without an intermediary. The transactions are verified by network nodes, or nodes, I think it is, and recorded in an immutable public distributed ledger called a blockchain. Bitcoin was invented by an unknown person or group of people by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto and released as an open source software in 2009. Bitcoins are created as a reward for a process known as mining. They can be exchanged for other currencies, products, and services. All right. So what's the deal? Because I've been hearing everybody and their mama talk about this Bitcoin. So for me, when I initially did the research, and I don't know how much you know about it, but initially when I did the research, I'm like, okay, nobody knows who's running this. Nobody knows where the money is going. Nobody knows any of the backstory of what's going on with Bitcoin. And so I'm wondering, because I've seen Dr. Boyce Watkins, he's ranting and raving about it. He's got his boxers in the uproar over it. Every time I, see him talking. He doesn't start any of his podcasts or videos without talking about Bitcoin for 20 minutes. I mean, it's to the point in some of his videos where if you scroll down to the comment section, somebody will say at 1717 in his videos when he actually starts talking about the topic he said he was going to talk about. Right. Because he talks about Bitcoin.
Is he vested in Bitcoin?
Yeah, he's vested in Bitcoin, and he's ranting and raving, telling everybody you should get in now and blah, 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 blah. So I'm not saying anything bad about Bitcoin because I don't know anything about it. I just know that to me, it appears to be a lot of downside to it. Simply because you don't know who's administering this money or
you don't know where it's coming from.
Any of it. And so a lot of banks and entities will not accept the currency because if you guys know anything about the banking system, banks will deny services to, let's say, the adult industry, marijuana shops, and things that are deemed illegal or seedy. And so with this Bitcoin thing, you can use that for those things. You can use the Bitcoins for those adventures, and so the banks and other entities won't take it as payment.
So if I was on Backpages and I wanted an escort, I could say, "Hey, do you accept Bitcoin?"
If she accepts Bitcoins, yeah, I guess you'd be in business. Okay. And a lot of businesses and entities do take Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. I don't even, like I said, I don't even know what it looks like. It's not even real money. It's electric money, I guess is what you call it.
Like PayPal.
Yeah, I guess. And so you earn Bitcoins, I guess. You invest in this Bitcoin thing. And so Warren Buffett, somebody put an article up this morning and I read it, and he was basically saying he doesn't like it. Now, Warren Buffett is fairly rich, very wealthy, into the billions, and this big time investment tycoon and all this other stuff. And he says because it doesn't seem to be stable, there's not a lot of history behind it. Nobody really knows what's going on.
Well, if in anything, if it's not material, if you can't see it and touch it, why would you invest in it?
Or you don't even know who's the man behind the curtain, like in Oz.
Right.
Who is really the man behind the curtain,
Yeah. Has anybody ever asked themselves, why are we in debt? Why are we paying interest on paper?
That doesn't even have any value.
It doesn't have value. It's just paper, but we're paying interest on it.
Well, now there's Bitcoin, okay? Now there's Bitcoin. And I was talking to my younger brother, who is this dude, like
professor.
He follows the stock market. He can tell you the ins and the outs and all this other stuff. He said he does not very well versed on Bitcoin either. He says, but from the experts that he's been listening to, they're saying that there's not a lot you can do with the Bitcoins, I guess, because with regular stock, you can short them. And, I guess it's kind of like a gamble. Shorting means you can, and I'm paraphrasing because
split the stock.
You can do all of that too. But with the Bitcoin, you can't, there's no room to do that. There's not enough known about it. And so a lot of big time, well-known investors are like, I'm not getting involved. And I don't know if that means anything in the long and short of things, but this whole Bitcoin thing, I don't know.
Well, for black folks, we don't invest in stuff like that anyway. Just continue to buy those Jordans.
Well, no, actually, you see a lot of black people talking about Bitcoins. And I've seen a friend of mine, he says, go on my page to learn about Bitcoin. So that also makes me wonder.
To me, it's a scam.
Yeah. Kind of sounds like it. I'm not so sure, but it almost sounds like a MLM, a multi-level marketing thing. To me, it does. So I don't know. And then my younger brother was also saying that at this, it's like if you're looking at it like a regular stock, at this point it's too late. Back in 2009, you could probably buy into it for $3 a stock, a Bitcoin or a stock, or whatever it is. But now it's at 16,000. You're probably too late anyway,
right.
And so now you're making everybody else richer, which is probably why they're telling you to get in, because if you get in, then you're going to make mines worth more.
I would never invest in something that isn't tangible if I can't see it.
Right. And Al says Bitcoin. I'm saying BIT. B-I-T.
B-I-T.
It's all one word. B-I-T-C-O-I-N. Bitcoin, it should be called small coin. F out of here. You also say black people shouldn't be concerned about Bitcoin and try to build their savings account. Well, a lot of people are taking their savings account and buying into Bitcoin.
And that's another way of taking our wealth from the ignorant.
Right.
From the ignorant. I mean, that's too much of a risk that, looking at it.
And black people, we don't trust the lady across the street with our cat. And we don't even have a cat.
But the white man's ice is colder than ours.
Yeah, but then, somebody talking about Bitcoin, invest in this, do this, and that, and we all in. And in a minute, did somebody do a Jim Jones on our ass? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I didn't know. I thought they were so genuine. Anyway, Jonelle says the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the dollar would be worthless and gold coins would be the new currency, as he has stated. So it is. For example, the movie John Wick, gold coins was the means of exchange.
Gold will always be a tangible resource.
Let's see. Exchange. Zionist banks feared it. For example, Muammar, the dollar is backed by nothing. It's a no. Yeah, and that's what you were just saying. So Jonelle, are you saying that Bitcoin is the way to go? Because like I said, I don't know enough about it to say yay or nay. I've, kind of looked at both sides of it.
But it's got to be backed by something. Diamonds. If you don't know what it's backed by.
Right. Well, they don't even know who's running the show.
Another way to illegally steal money.
I mean, it could be Rumpelstiltskin for all we know. I don't know. And then Al says Richard Pryor was the man behind the curtain in The Wiz.
Yes.
Well, no, I don't say he's the man behind Bitcoin because he's not here anymore. But who knows? I mean, I'm not saying maybe we're all going to be the suckers at the end of the day. Like, damn.
And most likely, with all our wealth, they're looking at us saying, what people are so naive that will just,
right,
$5 out of what, let's say 13 million people. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. I mean, what if whoever this thing or person behind the Bitcoin is like, okay, I got enough money now. Zoop, I'm gone.
For all we know, it's some damn Nigerians. Damn Nigerians again. Fishing.
The Nigerians that be calling you, hey, yo, you got to, you won $1 million and all I need to use.
All I need is your ATM card and then your numbers. And I will deliver it to you.
And I will send the difference to you. I'm always like, well, why can't you just deduct what I owe you and just send me the rest?
Right.
You know what? Why are you joking? When I was a banker, you guys, a personal banker, I sat down with quite a few people who fell for the scam.
Wow.
And I'm like,
I said, don't worry, I got a big thing coming in.
Like, did you give him the information? Yes, oh my God, I gave the information. They took my money. There's nothing we can do.
Nothing we can do.
What do you mean? I'm like, I'm thinking you should have been mad with them Nigerians when they called you. Now you mad at me.
That's the greed.
Right. And so, what else we got? John Nelson, the American currency is only printed paper.
It's all it is.
By nothing. So when the dollar fall, what will the currency be? Well, like you said, that's what Muammar Gaddafi was trying to do. He was like, let's move away from this, thing that's really no weight behind it. It's, it's really just a piece of paper. Let's move to gold, and then the rest is history.
What do you think Iraq did? They tried to go away from the dollar, and we invaded their asses. And that's what, John, these people, you guys all get it, because that's what it's about. People are saying this money's worthless. There's nothing behind it. But the minute you try to get off of it, the Illuminati comes in and they say, hey, it is what it is.
Al says, Bitcoin, tell them y'all, bit please. Bit please. That's what they're going to be saying to us when they run away with all their money, because we sitting up here talking bad about Bitcoin. They're going to be like, bit, please. I'm balling.
Yeah, the three of you that is known in the world.
Jonathan says, I'm sure you couldn't lose if you invest a little, because what if it is legit? One thing we will lose with the dollar. No, I'm with you. Like, we don't... What if we are sitting up here being cynical and skeptic? Black people, we skeptic. I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, here in California, if you're black, you're definitely not going to win the lottery. You got to be Mexican out here to win it. But I will spend a $2 a week or $1 a week, because if you don't play, I mean, my odds zero is zero. But
imagine how much money you can save after it's like Lotto's been there for 30 years. You pay $1 2 weeks a year for 30 years. How much money would that have been?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not a mathematician, but it makes sense to me.
But a little bit, just to give it a try, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I would get it. I looked at the Bitcoin thing, which I don't know. I hope I'm not wrong about this. I'm not on the other side. Like, God, dang it.
I would rather go without and keep my money that I have versus be wrong,
right,
and then be wiped out.
Well, we're gonna look further into this
damn
whole Bitcoin thing. So Joe, he says, oh no, I read that already. He says, our son. He says, well, I'm no expert either, but I live up in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and I saw an article here that said this lady entrepreneur built an actual house almost entirely paid using Bitcoins. I guess let's see. I'm going back. Let's see. I said, I guess I should have read it all. I do believe, however, that it is not a scam. Truth is, the big danger is because it is not regulated. Nobody knows if it's going to be shut down or what, or if it's the new currency of the future. Like everything, it's a risk. Some have said it will go into the hundreds of thousands, and others that it will all crash. At this point, it's so expensive that it's not even sure if we should worry about any of that anyway. Laugh out loud. And about your co-host saying is not backed by anything. What's the U.S. dollar backed by? Exactly.
Well, I've already said that.
But nobody know. We know that the U.S. dollar ain't backed by nothing. But what is Bitcoin's backed by?
Right. But at the same time, this could also be a thing. The World Bank, they don't want people to jump on the Bitcoin thing because it's going to take away their power and their influence in a lot of things. So.
And that's what my brother was saying, to your point, Arson, that right now is just really so late. I mean, if we were thinking about getting in, it's like, well,
and I got to say this.
You got $16,000 to invest.
I got to say this. For those of us that are woke or whatever, we are... America is so isolated that we don't get the information and news until after it's done. I mean, everybody else knows what's going on. We are just so isolated here by the propaganda that we just, it's done. We're just done here.
Yeah, well, and this Bitcoin has been around since 2009, and I'm just hearing about it within the last 2 months or so.
Exactly.
And then Jonas, exactly, Donovan, if you don't invest, you can't win.
Right.
So I take it some of you guys are in Bitcoin. And Al
sell us some of your shares.
Right. Do tell. Let you know, hook a sister and the brother up. Al says, I have already put back $15 for I've already put back $15 for a big box of Winco chicken. That should be an investment the way y'all talk about this doggone chicken.
Best in the world.
And so anyway, I have a couple of little conversations here that people really wanted me to discuss. And so I'm just going to briefly talk about them really quick.
Good.
Romel Kidd, which is a longtime friend of mine. He was the first person I met when I moved into Riverside. One of the first people I met was when I moved into Riverside many years ago. He says, good and bad hair, light versus dark. Why do opposites attack? Yeah. And so to me, it's funny, but it's cute. I know he was probably joking, but maybe he wanted to know the answer. I just impress upon anybody to go visit Dr. Joyce DeGruy's information on YouTube. She talks about post-traumatic slavery syndrome and that we are suffering the effects of that. So without getting all deep off into the light versus dark, nappy versus straight and all of that, go check her out, Dr. Joyce DeGruy, and she'll give you all the information you need on why we are still, hung up on that silly stuff, And then Andre Hutcherson asks, can a so-called conscious person who does not celebrate Christmas still go hang out with their family on Christmas?
Absolutely.
And I say, yeah, go do that. I mean, for most of us, listen, I haven't celebrated Christmas probably about 6 or 7 years. I just haven't, I was born into the Nation of Islam, and once my mom divorced my father, she married and, became a Christian. And so, when we was a Christian, we celebrated Christmas from that point. But when I got an adult and I got tired of spending money on Christmas,
right.
I was like, okay, I don't need to celebrate Christmas. I mean, and we know all the things behind Christmas. It's not really Jesus' birthday and all this other technicalities that go behind it. So I say, yes, go spend Christmas with your family. Just take it as an opportunity to get together with the family. You probably ain't seen Aunt, Buddha Wooda. That's my daughter's word, Buddha Wooda. Buddha Wooda in 20 years. So you want to go see her and, Uncle Remus, as Donovan would say. Uncle Rufus Rutherford. Ain't seen him in years. Go take the time to go spend it with them. And one thing I will say, though, for us conscious people who don't celebrate Christmas or the idea of Christmas, don't go to the Christmas function talking about y'all know y'all some pagans, right?
Yeah, you don't.
Y'all know Jesus didn't really. He wasn't really born on that day. Y'all know that Jesus wasn't. He ain't real.
Yeah, going there with your holy water and stuff like that.
Don't get your ass kicked at the family function, okay? Just go and just chill out and go home.
Enjoy, yeah.
Right.
Enjoy.
All right. So, Benny said, "This is why, though I believe we do need to practice group economics and create a real community that operates on its own without the little to any outside influence, and that would include military." Let's see. Where did I go? Oh, you wrote a lot. That's why. No, that would include military, currency, import and exporting, media, education, etc., etc. The minds of our people have to be fortified with a deep Afrocentric awareness because, say, for instance, if one of us become financially literate and experience some financial freedom, just like in politics, you will enter into an unfamiliar playing field where you may have began with a pure and genuine heart. It will become corrupt because corruption is how you play the game. It's their game, and they will and they change the rules how they see fit. The only way for these things to work is by levels, and the first level. I think if the first level is the mind, and I mean the minds of our children, because it is too late for us. We are too dependent on the system, but we can raise them in a way that they can raise their kids to fulfill this revolution. True. So then, let me just ask you this, because I agree with that. If we're raising the kids, and the kids are going to be the ones that fulfill the revolution, where are they going to get the information from if most of their parents are, let's just be honest, dead?
Sleep. Yeah, sleep.
How is that going to take place? Because I agree with that. A lot of us in our generation, we are asleep at the wheel. It's just, hey, Atlanta Housewives are coming on. Girl, go and get yourself a bath so I can watch my Atlanta Housewives in peace.
The mother's competing with the daughter, and the son is following the father into jail. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
And so Janelle says, clearly those printing money know at some point they're going to have to stop the press. So I'm sure Bitcoins, which various nations have their coins made out of gold and silver, may be the means of exchange. Zionist bankers love to blind the masses and dominate the control of currency.
Preach, brother.
You're saying preach. We're saying preach and stay out of jail. That's what we're saying, okay? Yeah. Oh, and then Al says, I missed some comments. Let me go back. What did I miss? Oh, my God. Oh, you said, for me to invest in Bitcoins, I say, them bits crazy. See?
Oh, my goodness gracious. Gracious goodness. Oh, patience. That is your man, right?
It is.
That is your man. Yeah.
You know, the old people say that, that boy's touched.
Yes. For opposite attract.
Yeah. Some people say I'm a little touched, too. Al says, speaking of Christmas, tell Donovan what I shared with you about black people in the Rudolph cartoon. He talking about they was integrating some black people in the cartoon because Rudolph's mama's name was Clarice.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know where to. I don't.
My goodness.
Okay, and so Tammy asked this question. Now, maybe y'all can help me out with this. She says, polygamy. Who's for it and who's against it?
I'm for it. Go ahead.
Damn, can I finish the question?
Go ahead.
Polygamy. Who's for it and who's against it? And is it necessary in this day and age?
Yes.
Your ass is crazy.
Yes, it is necessary because it's already going on. I
think that's the point a lot of people are making.
I mean, you got these guys have different, girlfriends and stuff. I mean, it's already going on. I mean,
I couldn't even get the question out.
Sorry. Yes.
Okay.
Like yes, Billy, like a mahogany. Yes.
All right, I will just say this about polygamy. Okay, polygamy is the art of practicing being in a relationship with more than one person. That you're not monogamous. You are with 1 to 2, 3, 4. I don't know how many other people, and everybody is cool with it. Everybody's, I guess, getting along great. And so, who's for it? The people that works for, like Donovan, he says he's for it.
I'm for it, but all I need is 2.
That's all you need is 2?
I mean, I could take more, but I'll just deal with 2. I don't want to be greedy.
So he says he can 2 is fine with him. So those are the people on Donovan's side who is for polygamy. Now, and a lot of people, like you said, too, believe that, well, since people are doing it anyway, hell, we might as well share. What is it? 10 women in the black community, 10 women to 1 man.
Yeah, they're actually sharing them anyway.
Y'all women, y'all sharing anyway. You might as well share out in the open.
Right.
This is not my ideology. This is what some people are saying, and so you might as well just get used to it. Ain't no man gonna be faithful, no way. So you might as well share your man because you're probably sharing them anyway. That's what a lot of people think. But then there's people like me that's like, no, I want to be with one person. I'm with a man that wants to be with one person.
Right. Well, as somebody,
no, honestly, that's the relationship that I'm in, and so I don't believe that every man cheats, or there's women are sharing anyway, or whatever. So we might as well just go on, and I'll be Wednesday through Friday, and then you get them the rest. I don't know.
Well, like I said, if you don't believe it, I've been doing a lot of research the last 5 years. You watch Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer ain't no research.
Paternity Court, all these shows. I mean, Divorce Court, whatever.
That is not no damn research.
It is research because all these people are screwing each other. It's like you might as well. I mean, it's already going on. I'm not saying, if you want to be in a monogamous relationship, God bless you. I mean, I would love to be in a monogamous relationship, but okay,
let me ask y'all this: since there's only men on here, would y'all be cool being the other dude with another woman? So let's say you guys are 2 or 3 dudes.
No.
And they're like, well, why is it good for you? It ain't good for her. I mean, you just said,
I'm greedy like that. Yeah, I'm greedy like that.
So you wouldn't want Boom Quisha to have you to be number 2 in the lineup?
Yeah, no. But some of the women I'm dating, I'm in that situation, but I got to protect myself.
But you're not, that's not your woman per se.
Exactly.
That's just something you're doing right now.
Yeah, just something I'm messing with.
Donovan's bad.
So.
And then so Al says, you missed my comment where I gave you and Donovan some advice. Did I? I didn't see that. It was probably so egregious to where it got deleted, I didn't see it. You say you and Don have so much knowledge in saving money. Y'all could be financial planners. I'm just saying. Oh, okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I used to be one, but I got out of that, and so now I'm just a jack of all trade and a master of none. And so Al says polygamy. It sounds like a ghetto girl's name. No. Polygamy is actually something people want to practice. And a lot of you guys think about it, and probably hear a lot of conscious people in the conscious community talk about practicing polygamy. Like you see, I think Brother Pro-Light, I don't know where he stands in the larger scheme of things now, but I think he has a few women. There's a comedian, D-Ray. He has 2 women, and they all get along just great, happy and dandy. Some little dude named Yada. He's got like 5 wives. And so, yeah, I mean, people are just out in the open with it. Listen, no shade to anybody who wants to share their man and their woman. That just ain't for me. Like, I can't do it. I couldn't even conceptualize the idea of, being one of 2, 3, 4.
Well, then talk to your sister why she treat me the way she's treating me. No.
That's between y'all, okay?
See how you do? See how you do.
So again, I feel like it's to each his own. If you want to be a side dude or one of the dudes or one of the women in the harem of the larger scheme of things, have at it. If you don't, then don't.
Exactly.
Plain and simple. And then so Terry Beard, I don't see him on here. He brought up the cancellation of Roland Martin's show on TV One. Well, this is interesting, y'all.
Very interesting.
What had happened was, sometime last week, Roland and his team got the notice that they were no longer going to be on there as of December 21st.
Yeah, that morning.
Yeah, that morning. Their show was going to be canceled on the 21st, so do what you got to do. We got to cut you because of financial concerns. We don't have the money pretty much to keep this show afloat.
Which I don't believe is the truth.
Okay, it's just true, because I was listening to Dr. Boyce Watkins after he got through talking about Bitcoin for 20 minutes. He said that he found some documents, some court documents, said, now get this, y'all. Now I feel like Wendy Williams, and I'm not trying to be. But he found some court documents saying that Kathy Hughes, the owner and CEO of TV One and Radio One, is being sued for sexual harassment.
Okay.
She's being sued for sexual harassment because I guess there was some lady who used to work for her. She was trying to get the lady to marry her son. I guess her son, Kathy's son, liked her. And he would always, put advances toward her. So Kathy was facilitating the advances, basically saying, and I'm paraphrasing, but you need to marry my son. And so the lady was like, no, I don't want to. So make a long story short, she got fired. And then the lady filed a suit. And so per Dr. Boyce Watkins' ideology, or I guess assessment, it kind of makes sense that because Kathy Hughes and them lost, I guess, their appeal to drop the case. They want the case dropped, and the judge was like, no, this case is going forward. So with that being said, it's probable that the lady will win. And it sounds like she's suing for several millions of dollars. And so the network already took a hit the last quarter to a $7 million loss, which is a lot of money. And so if they're going to lose the lawsuit, that's going to be a lot more money. And it's not going to be able to help sustain the network. So let's get rid of one of our highest paid players, which is probably Roland Martin. And so that's what happened. So, I mean, this is the court documents that he was reading from. So, I mean, to me, it makes sense. It's hard to believe, like, oh, you know what, Roland, we're going to fire you today.
Well, actually, Roland wasn't fired. The show's been canceled. So he's still going to be on the show and probably doing
but
specials.
His show, which probably was expensive, because they moved it from 1 hour to 2 hour as of recently, and so there is that.
And then when you have a network that is public, white people invest in it,
right?
And the first thing they do is start decimating the consciousness of the news and everything like that.
Oh yeah, and that's true. There are a lot of white people involved on the TV One board and all that. Yeah. A lot of decision makers. And so Alex says, a man being another dude to a woman is the equivalent to 2 lesbians being in a relationship. Who's the bitch? My God. Our song, he says, many people are using the new dynamics of side piece going around to validate this, to say we should do it. That's true. Fact is, even 95% of the people did it. You said even if 95% of the people did it, it wouldn't make it right. Let's see. It wouldn't make it right. Let's see where to go. It would just make it common. If you see somebody dropping $100 bill on the floor, I'm quite sure most people would say nothing, pick it up and keep it for ourselves. But it still doesn't make it right. I'm just saying, basically, cheating is not right. We should not see this as a questionable in any way. Oh, wow. I got two. Oh, I was looking at the podcast. No, absolutely. I agree. A lot of people are just trying to say, listen, I can't keep my lower regions in check. And so, therefore, I'm going to have me some side pieces. And you better like it if you want to be on the team. Benny says, we are experiencing an awakening right now as we speak amongst our people, and we are fueled and in ambition at the moment about revolution. We will keep going back and forth over the same issues. Where did I go? Oh, like the black man versus the black woman are killing each other, or the same old symptoms that we keep revisiting, like American culture that is deeply imprinted in our DNA. We can't shake it, but we have to start